Got it. Hey, Candy. Hi, Emily. Hi, Sadna. We're going to
Okay.
just give it a few minutes here. We'll give people a chance to join us, but we're really glad you're here. So I'm just curious, how's the weather by everyone today while we're waiting here?
Sunny and in the 80s for me.
Oh, I'm jealous. I'm very jealous, Candy.
Same. It's like 80 here in Jacksonville. So hoping to get outside later.
Yeah, I'm not far from you, Aaliyah. I'm in Atlanta.
Nice, nice.
Hmm. So we'll give it about 2 more minutes and then we'll just go ahead and get started. People are running late today. Everybody's so
Quiet.
quiet.
Oh my gosh. I was just thinking the same thing. I had to say something just to break the silence. It was loud. But it's 2:03 my time. So
Okay, why don't you go ahead and get started? And as people enter, I'll let them in, Aaliyah.
awesome.
And
Thank you.
sure.
So if you haven't already seen the message I put in chat, like what brought you here today, put a 1 if your users are tracking data in spreadsheets, 2 if you struggle with user adoption, and 3 if you have executive teams complaining that data is not up to date.
Uh-oh.
Can you hear me? Is my audio working?
Uh,
I can hear you.
yikes.
I hear you.
Okay, cool. Rob, let me know if I need to pause.
No, we're good. Sorry.
Okay. Cool. So, Rob and I are really thrilled to have you join us today as we dive into the powerful features of Apsona Grids and introduce you to our exclusive BOGO Grids offer. I am Aaliyah Walker, marketing coordinator. I have Rob with me, who is our enterprise sales lead. So let's get started. Before we jump into the details, let's take a quick look at who Apsona is. So Apsona was established in May 2009, has been on the Salesforce App Exchange since 2011. Fun fact about Apsona, Sona means golden in Hindi. So Apsona makes us the golden app. So that's what we love to represent here. We're serving over 1,700 happy customers and more than 10,000 users. Apsona works with any data model. And last but not least, we have a App Exchange rating of 4.89. So check us out. Apsona offers a comprehensive suite of data solutions, including data management, complex reporting, and document generation. We understand the importance of effective data management. That's why our first solution focuses on just that. And today, our Grids app helps to solve data management challenges. But data is only valuable if you can derive insights from it. That's where our second solution comes in, complex reporting. Apsona really empowers you to unlock the full potential of your data through customizable reports and dashboards. Finally, our third solution is document generation. With Apsona, you can create professional documents such as proposals, contracts, and invoices directly from Salesforce using your Salesforce data.
All right. Thanks, Aaliyah. And if you could be kind enough to keep me on time to make sure because when I start talking grids, I talk a lot. So what is Apsona Grids exactly? In essence, it's a game changer for your Salesforce users. It offers a seamless way to view, filter, and edit data in a tabular format. So if you have people that are tracking stuff in spreadsheets, this is your lucky day because they can stop doing that and start tracking in Salesforce. Whether you're a sales rep, a marketer, a service agent, Grids reshapes the way you interact with your Salesforce data. Less clicks, more data. Grids are great for driving user adoption and are really important for data governance. If you want to switch the slide for me. Oops, did I freeze? Oh,
You
shoot.
froze. Just
Oh, you're back. Now you're moving. Thank you.
Oh, was it me? I'm sorry.
It could be me. I don't know. I'm sorry. So,
Technology.
yes. So today, I am not Rob from Apsona. I am the sales rep at Ursa Minor. And for those of you that are trailblazers, you know exactly who Ursa Minor is. And my boss is asking me to come to a meeting with my updated, up to the minute opportunities. I roll my eyes a little bit and I think, oh, sheesh. But wait, my Salesforce admin, Aaliyah, implemented Apsona Grids. So this is going to be a breeze. Apsona Grids stands out because of its customizable views, bulk editing capabilities, and Grids lets me streamline my workflow through less clicks. So with that being said, I'm going to steal the screen share, Aaliyah. Give me 1 second. And please give me a thumbs up and tell me you can see what you need to see.
All right, I see Apsona demo.
Great. So for those of you that may not know Apsona at all, I just want to spend a minute in the base package for a second here. So Apsona is a tab within your Salesforce org, and it shows up and it looks very similarly to the tabs that you have for Salesforce. So we mimic what the layout is. So Apsona is a browser-based tool. Your data does not leave Salesforce, and Apsona is not able to access it. So I just want to be sure that you're clear on that. And I also wanted to let you know that whatever your users can do in Salesforce, they can do in Apsona. Whatever they cannot do, it is the same issue. They can't see fields or adjust fields that they're not supposed to. So with that being said, I'm going to start with the end in mind, and I'm going to start at the user level first and then go backwards and show you the admin view, because I think it'll make a lot more sense. And so what I've done is I have the the full grids view here, if you will. And so what this is showing me is that I have over 200 the first 200 opportunities in my first grid. There's 2,171 opportunities in my grid. So it's for my entire org. And so one of the things I want to point out is you can provide a tab view here that your users can easily see. Now I could see there's some highlighting here, and I'm going to go into what's behind that in a moment, but I just want you to notice that there's some highlighted views here. I know because Aaliyah told me, being my admin, that these deals are over $500,000. So at a glance, I can see my high volume deals really quickly. The other thing I want to point out here is that I have the ability to look at related objects here in this view. And if I wanted to, I could add a row and easily add some values right here and then click save and do my updating right from my tabular view. So much easier than going into the opportunity and then trying to update either the product or the contact role. I can do it right from here. The other thing I wanted to point out is I do have some functionality that's here, and I'm just going to show you a quick example. So I've selected the first 4 opportunities here. I can go to my tools bar and I can see I can do things like export, or I can update the checked, and easily do that right from this view, and I don't have to click in. I can also mass add tasks. Now I know for a fact, and I'm going to show you this in a minute, that my admin sets what I can and cannot do here. And so I'll talk about that in just a moment. But I wanted you to see that there's some functionality here that allows you to do that. That being said, I can also do things like embed this view on any object. I picked an account, and so I'm going to kind of show you what the difference might be, and I'm going to walk you through this. So this is my Burlington Textiles Corporation account, and I'm on my related lists. So first of all, I want to just kind of go and show you and compare and contrast. I have an opportunities related list here. So all this that I was able to do on this tab over here, I would have to click into each one of these to be able to update them, because in my list view, I can't update them either. So right away, I'm creating a better interface for my customers. Now, if your users happen to be full Apsona for Salesforce license users, not the grids users, you can, and I wanted to be sure you knew this, embed a tabular view on an object. The difference between this tabular view and what I'm going to show you in the grids is I call this view the keys to the kingdom. So this would be for your more experienced users, because there's a lot more functionality here in the tools. You have the ability to do some deleting and all kinds of things that you may or may not want your users to be able to do. Now I'm going to go over here, and remember here I saw everything in my org. This one is only showing me opportunities for this particular account, which I like much better for me. And I can see that my high level deals are quickly highlighted. And oh yes, I can see that I have one that I need to add my my value here and save it. So I could easily do that by just entering the information right like this, and then I would click save, and it would save it and update this. Again, I have the ability to look at these extra objects that I could easily do some adding a row, updating right from here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump to the admin screen. Were there any questions in the chat, Aaliyah, that maybe I missed or I went too fast?
Nope. If you have questions, feel free to put them in the Q&A or just the chat.
Okay, so now I'm going to kind of show you what's behind the scenes on how to set those grids up, because it's relatively straightforward. So I'm in my Apsona Grids admin view, and I am creating my grid. So here's my grid info. I name it. Best practices, always put a description in for yourself. So where you are today, or if you leave the org, the next person that comes in can figure out what you were trying to do with this grid. I can also see that this rests on the opportunity object. I can go and pick the fields that I want to pick to show up in my grid, and I can click and drag them over. I also can get fields from other objects here. And if I scroll down, I can see that I can get to these other objects and pull over information from those objects as well. I can set a default filter. In my particular grid that I'm demoing today, I do not have a default filter, but I can pick a default view if that's what I choose to do. And then I can also add additional filters. So in this case, I have an open filter. Maybe I want to do a closed filter. Maybe I want to do a past due filter. So I could easily do all those things and give those options to my end user to use in their grids. This is where that lovely part came for the highlighting and the formatting. So I can see here that any opportunity that has this like goldenrod color, I can see that the condition is if the amount is greater than $500,000, it's going to show up in my grid as this orangey gold color. I can also see that if my amount equals 0, then it's going to highlight it for me as the sales rep. And now I know, so that I'm ready for my meeting with my sales manager at Ursa Minor, that I better update these zeros quickly before I go in. Here are those subgrids that I mentioned. So you can pick your subgrids and you can keep adding subgrids. We just did 2 for example purposes, but you can pick the subgrid name, what's the object it's coming from, and what's the lookup field that you're going to use. And we did it for both products and the contact role. And then finally, this is, I'm going to go back to this. This is where the guardrails that I mentioned earlier are on the grid view. We have 4 things that you have the ability to control whether or not the end user can do it. Mass update, mass delete, which is removed in my case, mass add tasks, and export. The 2 that I've seen removed the most are mass delete and export. So it just kind of depends on what your org's needs and or data governance rules are. Emily, do you have a question?
Would you be able to talk more through mass add tasks?
Oh, you want me to go through that and show you?
Or
Sure.
just kind of like in this case, so this would be on opportunity. Would adding the tasks mean that you'd be adding tasks on the opportunities that are in the list?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And you could like from that list, like I picked these 4, I could have picked all of them if I chose, or I could pick different. Like it just, whatever you need to do, you can pick it. And the same would go from, let me close this real quick and go back to my my account view. Excuse me. So if I'm here, sorry, it's going to take a moment. I could pick, 2 of these, and then I could go and I could mass add tasks, and then it gives me the chance to assign it and figure out who's doing what and when's the due date. So I have the ability to do that from here.
And then also, so on the list or the grid, it's, in this case, it's open opportunities. And for creating the link to this particular account so that it's only showing this account's opportunities, do you need to create a separate grid, or is it smart enough to know that it's only opportunities associated with this account?
It's smart enough to know that it's only opportunities associated with this account.
Okay, cool.
I'm confirming I'm correct, Sadhna, right? Nope. Maybe.
Great question.
Yep. Okay.
You are right. Sorry. I was on
That's
mute.
okay. I was like, huh? Yes. So when you embed it here, it's only going to show you what you need, which I think is extremely helpful.
Opportunities to that account. Yeah.
Yep.
Correct.
Rob, we have another question in the chat. It says,
Okay.
can you have different permissions per user, or is it applied to all?
Yes, you can. You can do that through configurations. So when you're in Apsona, bear with me here, you could set up your users. Aaliyah, can you find that documentation and maybe drop it in the chat? Is that, or I could find it in a second because I think you talk next. So I'll get you the paperwork on that or the documentation on that and drop the URL in here so that you can see that and review it. Okay. Any other questions? All right, I'm going to stop sharing them and I'm going to let you reshare.
Awesome, thank you. Let me know if I freeze up again.
You're on the slide that we left on, so you can go to the next slide. There we go.
Okay, so here is the more exciting part. Rob, thank you for the awesome demo. So we are thrilled to announce our exclusive one-time buy one, get one free offer on Apsona Grids. So when you purchase a minimum of 3 Apsona for Salesforce licenses and a minimum of 10 Apsona Grids, you'll receive a second set of grids absolutely free. It's the perfect opportunity to really supercharge your Salesforce experience and save some money. In order to redeem this offer, you will simply email Rob, our sales lead, to let her know how many licenses you'll need for Apsona for Salesforce and Grids. And then she will be happy to quote you.
Are they free for 1 year or perpetuity?
They are free for 1 year.
That's a great question, Heidi. Thank you. Do you want to go to the next slide?
So setting up grids is really easy. You'll need Apsona for Salesforce, the base license, and Apsona Grids. So that's 2 apps. It only takes maybe 10 minutes to set up. So you can do it in like a morning. Next up, grids are completely self-service. So what does that mean? It means you have the flexibility to install, try it out in your organization or in a sandbox environment. This is really a hands-on approach to empower you to explore grids on your own terms, ensuring that it fits the workflow for you and your team. Oh, I see a chat. Is that a question?
Oh, it's me. It's
Okay.
me. Sorry. Do you want to, yeah. So what I like about this is it kind of just gives you a visual overview of how to purchase grids. So these are our enterprise prices. If you have the Apsona for Salesforce base license, you need to purchase 3. If you've already purchased 3, you can already add on grids. Grids, you need to purchase a minimum of 10, and it's $1,100 a year. We do offer a 20% discount for nonprofits. And if you purchase 10 this year for 1 year, you would get 20 grids. So you can get that taken care of for you right there. Okay. Questions that we didn't answer in our demo today?
Well, I think we
Emily?
did answer this, but just to make sure I understand. So if we have, for example, 3 of the full Apsona licenses and then 10 or, up to 20 of the grids licenses, that means that folks who just have the grids license, they would be able to access the grid on that related list. And then also, I think you said that we could set up a tab, which would be, I guess, like a link that we could share with them to be able to use and edit the full grid?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But I want to
But
be
then-
very clear. I showed you 2 different things. And so I want to make sure that you understand what I'm showing. And if it's okay, Aaliyah, I'm going to steal the screen share again, because I just want to make sure I'm being clear. Where'd my screen share go? Okay. Can you see my screen okay?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So when I go to my account, there were 2 different things that I showed you. So this first one, which says Ops Tabular View Embedded. I think it was Heidi that was asking the question. Is that right? Heidi, what this means is that they have the base license, and this is the more powerful view of a tabular view, because I heard you mention it as a tabular view, whereas this version here is strictly the grids, and it's got the parameters around it. So I want to be sure that I'm being very, very clear.
So we would, if the user only had the grids license, but not the Apsona for Salesforce license, we would basically hide this component, like add visibility conditions so that they wouldn't be able to see the first one.
The first one, correct. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Was that Emily? I'm sorry. I thought it was Heidi. My apologies.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's okay. That's okay.
Any other questions? Anything that we didn't answer? I just want to be sure that we said this again. Our sandbox trials are free for an unlimited amount of time. However, this grids deal only goes till the end of June. So if you're wanting to take advantage of the buy one, get one, you would have to purchase prior to June 30th.
I have one other question. Sorry, I don't mean to.
No, it's okay.
No, it's just
Um,
perfect.
Um, I recall that in other places of Apsona, we're able to, like on reporting, for example, that we're able to add a custom label. Are we able to do the same thing for columns in grids and then also possibly for the related lists within grids?
I'm gonna have to ask about that.
I think so. Like renaming the different columns.
Yeah, so like for what we're looking at now, like amount, close date, stage.
So if you look at the grids admin,
Yeah,
it would have to be here, let me go to this just one second. And Sadhna, if you can confirm or deny that I'm correct, that would be great. But basically you're pulling in the fields that you already have existing. I don't, there's not a way.
the little pencil next to the unlock. I think
Yep,
it's
there you
like,
go. You can.
Okay,
Thank
great.
you.
I know one thing about grids, and you can do that.
Thank you. So yes, you can.
Okay. And then also, like, could we go back to the last page we were at where we were looking at one of the grids?
Do you want to, you mean the account page? I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, one second.
And then,
You want this page?
yeah, that's great.
Mhm.
And then if you expand on any of the rows,
You mean
and then
like
it
this?
opens up, yeah, and then if it opens
Mhm.
up the related lists, like, are we able to change the label for products and contact role?
I would have to go back over here and take a look at that for you. Give me one second. Hmm. Uh, you could name it whatever you want to name it. Is that what you mean?
Okay, great. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because we just named it whatever. So yes, you could name it whatever you want to name it.
Excellent.
We
Thank you.
just kept it, we just kept it in line with whatever the object was. But if you want to name it whatever, you can.
Okay, great.
All right. Anyone else? Lila, thanks for joining us. We didn't get a chance to chat. Are there any questions that maybe I didn't answer for you or Heidi or Candy?
I'm good.
All right.
Everything sounds great. Thank you for everything.
Oh, you're welcome, Heidi. Thank you. All right. Well, with that being said, thank you for joining us today. We hope this was helpful. I believe Aaliyah is going to follow this up with an email and a link to this recording. So if you need to share it with somebody, you can. And then she's also going to send you the link to download grids so that you can start trying it as soon as today if you'd like.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you
Thank you,
guys for
Heidi.
coming.
Thanks, Robin, Aliyah.
Mm-hmm.
Emily says thumbs up on the new UI. Woohoo.
Yay.
Thank
All
you.
right. Thanks for the feedback. Bye, team.